Welcome to Truth or Fake, our daily fact-checking show. Today, I'll be focusing on Trump's State of the Union speech, during which he made a slew of false or misleading claims. I'll start by looking at one of his comments relating to immigration. So, while denouncing former US President Joe Biden, Trump claimed, I quote, "Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point. Open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murderers." Now, the first thing I'd like to point out here is that there is no comprehensive data charting people's criminal or institutional history in origin countries. It's therefore impossible to link millions of migrants to prisons and psychiatric hospitals abroad under Biden's presidency. Second of all, I'd like to focus in on this number here, the alleged 11,888 murderers according to Trump. According to the Department of Homeland Security, meanwhile, this figure actually refers to non-citizens convicted of homicide who entered the US not just under Biden, but over the course of decades. And this includes during Trump's first presidency. Now, in terms of the economy, Trump made the following comments. I quote, "When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy." Later in the speech, he went on to say, I quote, "Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before." Now, while it is true that the consumer price index inflation rate did drop from 3% in January 2025 to 2.4% in January 2026, the overall numbers simply do not back up the suggestion that Trump has overseen some kind of an economic boom since his return to office last year. For example, over the course of 2025, the US economy grew 2.2%. This was lower than in any other year during the Biden presidency. In addition, the unemployment increased from 4% January 2025 to 4.3% in January 2026. Finally, in terms of foreign affairs, Trump reiterated a claim we've become quite familiar with here on Truth or Fake. I quote, "My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars." Now, although Trump has indeed played a role in resolving some wars, at least temporarily, the 8 number is an exaggeration. One of his list of those 8 was, for instance, the war involving the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, which has in fact continued despite a peace deal brokered by the Trump administration last year. Another conflict on Trump's list is the war in Gaza. Now, although Trump was involved in endeavours to broker a ceasefire in the enclave, Israel has continued to carry out strikes on the territory since last October's truce was announced. According to the territory's health ministry, at least 603 people have been killed since the ceasefire was announced on October the 10th. So Trump's claim, as we've said before here on Truth or Fake, is a bold exaggeration.
Charlotte, thanks so much for that. Charlotte Hughes there with tonight's Truth or Fake. Do stay with us. We'll be right back with more world news.